Secondly, after appreciation, some of the benefits of real estate, as I'm discussing with you guys, real estate is a great hedge against inflation because prices tend to go up. And some of the benefits of real estate, many benefits, I just want to talk about the, a couple of biggies, is appreciation. Over the years, good income producing real estate, and good real estate in general in desirable areas tends to go up in price. So appreciation. Secondly, cash flow. That after paying all expenses from an income producing property, after paying all expenses, we have some spending money with which to feed ourselves, our families. So cash flow, very important. I want to add to this where I'll back up. The first benefits I told you about of real estate was appreciation. But that's not why we buy real estate. Because, we're today, this is 2019, April of 2019, things are, cooling off a little bit. But last, almost 10 years now, we've been at a great expansion, but last, 2007, 8 or 9, some bad stuff happened. First, and then just, but again, it just, it's supposed to happen. Market's supposed to have pullbacks. But what we saw then was a little bit drastic. The kind of stuff that we'll see once or twice in a lifetime. Again, you got to be a student of history and not be surprised and shocked by these things, but prepare for some of these so you could take advantage of it. When those opportunities present themselves. So, what I see is a lot of investors are so-called entrepreneurs or investors because it's cool to be one. They've seen nothing but good times. That's why I want to talk to older dudes, who've been around the block a few times. These younger guys or newer guys, they've seen nothing but good times. They haven't seen any winters yet. So we want appreciation, but that's not why we buy. We want cash flow. We're not speculators. Speculators say in 2008 or 9, oh, just buy, man. Just buy something. It's going to go up and sell it. Well, it works until it doesn't work. So, we don't want to be like that. When we buy something, we want to underwrite it with historical averages. We'll talk about, apartments later on. And I see a lot of people putting these deals together, underwriting them, what we've seen last 2-3 years, unrealistic. You got to use historical numbers when you underwrite, different types of projects. So, first great benefit, is appreciation, but we don't buy just for appreciation because, you'll be speculating if that's your only reason for getting into real estate or investment property in general. So, secondly, cash flow. We got to have cash flow. That's why we invest for other reasons as well, but number one reason is cash flow. You want that cash flow. You get a great education. You get a good paying job and start investing in the right vehicles. So your cash flow comes to a point where your monthly cash flow from your investment is the equivalent of your salary. That's when you have optionality. That's when you could walk away from your employment, your job, if you like. So first benefit of real estate or investment property was appreciation. Then it was cash flow, and thirdly amortization, or debt pay down. Well, it's a concept that us being people of faith, again, that's what I meant by I fixed one thing about myself, and there's something else that I need to fix, and this is something I'm working on. But right now I want to explain to you the traditional approach, what I've done in the past and what I'm presently doing, and how I'm trying to get past this. So right now, just the traditional approach, which real estate investors are employing, the benefits of are what? Appreciation, cash flow, and debt pay down or amortization is another benefit. They'll tell you, you buy a piece of property, you can pick a number, $100,000, $10 million, $1 million, say $1 million. You buy $1 million property, you put $250,000, $300,000, $300,000 down, and then you finance the rest. As time passes, that real estate, that business pays the debt down. Whether it's a retail business or quick service restaurant, or residential real estate, if it's a house, a tenant is paying your debt down. Whereas I like those apartment buildings because you have more economies of scale. Me as a business person, you could drive the value up. It's much more interesting than single family SFRs homes, single family residential. So debt pay down, amortization is another benefit. Using leverage. The traditional approach is, hey, even if you have cash, should you pay it? I'm just explaining, not right or wrong. You guys understand where I'm getting at with this. Right now, I just want to explain the traditional approach, and then what we could do to be really. Anyway, that's a separate conversation. So debt pay down or leverage that you could take on more. If let's say if you have $300,000, you'll buy a $300,000 property, and on the other hand, if you use leverage, you could buy $1 million or more property, and then you pay it off. Well, it's how we feel about it. I understand today that leverage. I have some friends, very close friends. Some Christian friends, couple of Jewish friends. They'll tell me, the smart ones, the business savvy ones, they'll say, debt is something, it makes the poor people poor, and the smart people, richer. Well, how so? They tell me that the poor use debt to finance their lifestyles, their cars, their homes, whereas the rich use debt to get richer, to invest in income producing properties. But the same people will tell me you have to be sensible about debt, because it could cut both ways. It could break you. We have examples within our own family, and even to this day, me using the traditional approach, owing the banks, a couple $1 million. It's something to think very seriously about.